Hey guys, it's Mark from Migraine Professional, and in this video, we're going to be talking about the histamine-tyramine diet for complex migraines and headaches. Now, my name is Mark from Migraine Professional. I used to suffer from migraines and headaches till about 5 years ago, and I figured out how to beat them, and I've been migraine-free ever since. Now I teach other people how to do the same, and histamines and tyramines are a huge problem, but for a small part of the migraine population. Now, in one study, they found that migraine sufferers in general had lower levels of DAO than healthy subjects. Now, DAO is an enzyme that breaks down histamines in the body so that histamine levels can't build up and cause problems. But it's only for some people. It's a general. It's not everyone. In another study, they found that when people were given histamine infusions, they developed migraine-type headaches. So that's also kind of pointing to how histamines can play a role in migraines, and maybe some histamine foods can play a role in migraines. So I'm going to link to an article in the description. It's on the histamine migraine connection. It's going to cover everything in a lot of detail, a lot of depth. So you can go there if you want more information than this video will give you. Now, a couple of the things that the histamine-tyramine diet really helps with is that you're supporting your DAO. So you're not adding more foods that provide histamines, that release histamines, that kind of put the burden on DAO. You're helping to reduce the amount of histamines that you're bringing in, and maybe the amount of histamines that you're causing through foods that you're eating that are creating sort of like an allergic response or an immune response inside of the body, which releases histamines. And then mast cell activation disorder is a disorder in which your mast cells, which are the sort of type of immune cells that release histamines, they start malfunctioning, and they just keep sort of releasing histamines. They keep releasing it, and then histamine levels build up, and they start causing all kinds of different problems. So this starts to happen when the immune system starts getting confused. The body's already in a fair amount of disease and things are breaking down. Generally, people who have this already have a few other conditions going on, and nutrient deficiencies aren't being dealt with. Gut pathogens are there. All these problems are going on. They're not being dealt with. And then over time, as the body progresses into disease, it starts getting this mast cell problem where they just start degranulating and releasing histamines, and then it aggravates the problem even more, and they start developing sensitivities, all kinds of hypersensitivities and things like that. And then, of course, hormones. Hormones play a big part in histamines, especially high estrogen and low progesterone. So not having enough progesterone to kind of back it up and balance that estrogen, and then having estrogen levels that are too high, either because the body's making them too high, or it's being artificially created through synthetic estrogens that are being that are really all over our environment now. So the foods that would generally be removed on a histamine or a tyramine diet include, it's a big list, but generally we can think of it as foods that are old or foods that are cultured by some kind of bacteria. So they're foods that are fermented, aged, cured, cultured, old in general, like left out, and then some nuts like walnuts, cashews, and peanuts. Some vegetables are kind of high, like spinach, avocado, eggplant, tomato, but generally the vegetables are less of a problem than the free forms that are usually found inside of the, let's say, cultured foods. Then, of course, smoked, soured foods, anything with containing vinegars. Vinegar is very high in it. And then dried foods, again, like old. When they're left out, then the bacteria can start to act on whatever that food is, and then the bacteria create these histamines and these tyramines, these different types of amines that can cause a problem in some people. But it's definitely not all people. It's not everyone that reacts to them. Histamine issues can also be aggravated if you have allergies. So when you're thinking of allergies, you want to think of your liver's ability to deal with the issues going on. You want to make sure that you're supporting detox capacity. So simple things like making sure you're sweating daily, you're exercising, you're getting enough water, you're supporting your liver detox pathways. And then, of course, the MTHFR genetic mutation, which is actually fairly common, and it's starting to kind of get a role and get more of a spotlight kind of shone on it, on how much the MTHFR gene is actually creating problems, and some parts of it can be supplemented for. Of course, you want to make sure you go to your doctor or a trained professional that can help you with that, test you for that, and take you through that. So what we want to understand with histamines and tyramines is that it's not everyone. It's not all migraine and headache sufferers that need to follow a histamine, tyramine restricting diet. That can just cut out a lot of foods in your life that you may need for nutrition and variability and calories and energy. So you don't want to necessarily cut out all of your histamines and tyramines. But again, if you're finding that you're reacting to really high histamine or tyramine foods, things like alcohol and like cheeses, aged cheeses and vinegars and things like that, if you find you're really reactive to them, they're triggering you, then you want to kind of dive into it deeper. You want to see what's going on. You want to see if it's the histamines and the tyramines that are really doing it, by taking them out and then introducing them one at a time. Seeing some people just have less of a tolerance to histamines and tyramines, so you might just want to lower the levels of it. You might want to maybe supplement with something like a DAO, diamine oxidase, which will break the histamine down in your gut. And then there's different types. There's foods that contain histamines, and then there's foods that release histamines. And so you want to kind of investigate it further and see what's going on. And I'm going to link to an article in the description on the histamine migraine connection that'll really take you into more depth on what's going on and kind of explain things further, and you'll get more information there. So let me know in the comments below, do you find histamines and tyramines are a trigger for you? Or is it more of just a aggravator for other symptoms you have? Or do you find they're a problem for you? Have you tried a histamine or tyramine free diet? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks. Hey, it's Mark from migraineprofessional.com. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe in the bottom left corner. And if you want to learn more about migraines and headaches than you've ever known before, and understand what causes them, what creates them, and what you can do about them, make sure to go to migraineprofessional.com. Thanks.